Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Auto 247. My name is Niharika Valia, and I am with you for the JAIIB classes. And I'll be taking up the AFB area today. So, since we were covering the series for AFB, I'm gonna take up another set of 10 questions for this series. So, let's quickly move on. Okay, so when we talk about, we were discussing various conventions and the concepts and the principles of accounting, right? So these are very different scenarios. When we talk about the concepts and the conventions are those things which are done on the daily basis. That is something that has been taken up by the businesses there. While principles and concepts are similar things. That most of the things in many books you'll find the concepts are said as principles, principles are said as the concepts. But there's one particular area called the assumptions. Those assumptions are something that has been kept as the base. Those three things are not changed normally. That is called going concern, consistency, and accrual concept. These are the basic assumptions that they keep in accountancy. So it might look that everything here is very similar or on the same note, but it's not. All these three are different scenarios. So let's quickly move on and understand a few concepts regarding the same. But before moving on, please confirm whether I am audible as well as visible or not. It might look. So let's move on. Our target batches for JAIIB November batch has started. It has started on 11th of July 2022 and it is at 8 to 9 p.m. and that is for the AFB timing. So when we talk about these batches, this one is an English medium batch and the entire batch for JAIIB November to December has been started there, which included AFB, PPB as well as the LRB. So this batch is right now going on, and other than this we're going to start with another batch on 25th of July. So you have a chance that if you're looking forward to the live classes or if you're looking forward to the recorded classes, in both the cases you might be able to, if you're looking forward to the live, then you can join on 25th, and if you are currently in the July 11th batch also, then you can get the particular details. At the same time, the plans are also discussed. The plans are also shown in the batches there, so you can check out the study plans of all these batches. So what is going on, in how much time the syllabus would be completed, everything is visible there. And what do you get in terms of the JAIIB batches? You get a particular live classes where we have a two-way interactive softwares where we can interact with you when the class is going on. So in any case, if you face any trouble there, those troubles can be handled, or in case you have any doubts or something, then we are definitely there to interact and clear them out. Secondly, you get the test series. And if you're not able to attend the live classes for some reason, then what you can do is you can also look at the video classes in their recorded form. And other than this, you are able to test series. Then last thing that is visible for you guys is the ebooks. So through ebooks, if you're sitting out, you are sitting anywhere else and you would not have the access to physical books, you can definitely just open the ebook in your phone and read it, and you can pursue further, right? So what we can do is, if you're looking forward to the JAIIB batches, or anybody who's looking for the CAIIB batches as well, so if anybody who's looking forward to these, you can use the code Y538 to avail the discount of up to 78%. At present, the discounts are going on, and if you're looking forward to this, you can also purchase these batches from the app where you get additional discounts. So this is what you can try out for the JAIIB new batches. They have started. First one had started on July 11th. The next one is going to start from 25th of July for the English medium. Now let's move forward and look at this. This is question number 1. It says that the double entry is based upon the fact that every debit has its corresponding credit and vice versa. It will not be able to detect the mistakes such as debiting Ram's account instead of Rao's account, or building account in place of repairs account. The error stated here is, okay, let's talk about this area. This is the point where you are supposed to look out for the answer. the question requires a little more reframing. But then this is what I would like to you to focus upon. That means that building account in a place of repairs account. Can you see this point says that an expense has to be written as an asset when such a scenario occurs. It is error of principle, compensating errors, error of omission, or error of commission. When we talk about such errors, the such errors are those where an expense is taken as an asset or asset is treated as an expense. Both are debit items. Normally, it's hard to find such errors in the trial balance. You tend to find these errors while conducting the audits. So in this case, what happens is these are hard to find errors, but the kind of error it is stated here is the error of principle. So that's the error of principle where the assets can be debited in place of the expenses, or expenses can be debited in place of the assets. This is basically an error of principle where the problem relates to the debit side items, and the difference is because both the elements are debited. So the trouble arises, these errors cannot be detected in the trial balance. So trial balance really doesn't provide us a conclusive proof. It just gets you the detail of the arithmetical accuracy, nothing else. Now, let's look forward to the next point. These are from the conventions. Again, when we talk about the conventions, what are conventions? Conventions refers to all those workings that are accepted. All those ways of the policies and procedures, whatever you call it, those are widely accepted in that particular industry, in that particular business. That is convention. The other name for the convention of reasonable degree of accuracy is convention of materiality, convention of relevance, convention of conservation, or convention of consistency. The other name for reasonable degree of accuracy. The other name for the convention of reasonable degree of accuracy is convention of materiality. When we talk about this, this convention is also called the degree of accuracy. According to this, the information given in the account should be reasonably accurate. All the entries should be exact. Fraction of the rupees can be avoided. Materiality is more about, it reminds me of something that we call it material, that whether it is in terms of the materialistic form or not. But when we talk about the accountancy, it says material means is it important or not. If it is important, then it is relevant. Even the entire qualities of the information that we use in accountancy comes out of this area, right? So materiality plays an important role in terms of general English. If I talk about the materiality, it's more about the importance, right? So let's move on and do the next question. It says there are 2-3 points given. You need to find out which particular characteristic is being talked about. It is the book of final entry. It is designed to accommodate the various accounts maintained by a trader. Is it journal? Is it ledger? Is it trial balance or financial statements? It is a book of final entry. This is where the entire books are completed and all the various accounts that are maintained are written or recorded here. See, it's not journal, because journal is basically noting down each and every event and then transactions. Actually, the point is we note down all the transactions. Then there is something, the transactions are recorded where the trial balance is basically a statement. Financial statement is also a statement where the clubbed information is given to find out the profits or losses. So that's another thing that can be ruled out. So even the journal has to be ruled out because it shows the individual transactions. The main point is the ledger. So the correct answer is the ledger. It is the second stage of accounting cycle. Ledger posting means the posting transactions entered in the journal into the respective books in terms of the ledger. So when we talk about the accounting cycle, first is journal, then we have the ledger. After ledger, we prepare the trial balance, which is basically a summary of all the ledgers. Then we have the P&L or the profit and loss account, and then we have the balance sheet. That's correct. Let's move on. Question number 4. Which among the following is true? The excess of expense over the income is called a profit. or the current liability represents a potential obligation that would be credited depending upon an outcome of an event. The primary stage of accounting function is called the bookkeeping. Or the last one, it's a dual aspect concept. The assets represent economic and non-economic resources of the business. Okay, one more thing. The dual aspect concept talks about only the economic principles, economic resources. We do not note down the non-accounting areas in terms of our accounts. Financial accounting hasn't got that particular opportunity to bring up the non-economic, or you can say the non-monetary things into their balance sheets. So the non-economic area is something that they do not have. And in terms of the expenses, when the expenses are more than income, that is a area of loss. It's not a profit, it's a loss. And in terms of the current liability, this is not even a current liability, this is basically a contingent liability. It can occur in the future. Current liability is something that can occur in the upcoming 1 year, within the period of 1 year or one operating cycle. So in this case, there's only one particular point which is correct. That is the primary stage of accounting function is called the bookkeeping. That's correct, right? So the bookkeeping is the first level, and then we have the preparation of the financial statements, then we have the analysis, analytical tools are there. So it keeps on going further. So first level is bookkeeping, then it comes to accounting, and when we build up the knowledge, it becomes accountancy. So these are three different terms. One is bookkeeping, then we have accounting, and then we have accountancy. Right? Now comes column 1 and column 2. You just have to find out the correct answer for this. First is GAAP, then we have the cash receipt voucher, then we have the capital receipt, then we have a liability, and then is cash discount. You have to find the correct answer. A is encouraging prompt payment by a debtor. When we ask a debtor to make a prompt payment, that is more or less a cash discount that we are offering. So what I can find is that fifth can be A, and GAAP. GAAP is basically the accounting principles that are used in United States of America. That means US has introduced them. Then if there's anything, right. So for the first one, it is C. That means generally accepted accounting principles. We are done with 2 now. We've just done 2, and I can eliminate the last 2 options out of it. Isn't it? Now let's look forward to among the following which one is correct. Now the difference I can see is between the second point and the fourth point. The second point says cash receipt voucher. Now this particular voucher is among the source documents. Sorry. Source documents are those documents whenever any transaction occurs. You need a proof of the same, right? So when you need a proof of that, you maintain some certain documents. Those documents become a conclusive proof that no, the event had occurred, and the supporting documents can be given to you. So those are called the source documents. As soon as you receive the cash, you issue the cash receipt voucher. So you have received it, you have a particular proof that the amount has been received, because especially in terms of the cash, you don't know what is happening in terms of the cash till the time you really don't maintain it that way, because in terms of cash, nobody will come to know if somebody has given me payment and I do not record that particular payment in my books of accounts. So then cash receipt voucher, it is basically D. So here I can just conclude to this point that the correct answer is actually A. Right? So for the third part, that is capital receipt, it is not recurring in nature. If I buy or sell any asset, then that particular amount is not something that we receive every single day, because we do not sell assets on a regular basis. We sell goods. So in this case, it is a non-recurring nature. And then we have the liabilities. Liabilities are something that the amount owed by the business to others. So the right answer is actually A. Right? So then let's move forward to the next question. The next question is question number 6. It says that the materiality principle is an exception to which of the following concepts? Materiality, which means important. The important thing, it is basically an exception for consistency, full disclosure, accounting period assumption, or the prudence principle. See, the materiality basically says that all those important things has to be stated. It doesn't say that everything has to be stated. That means it is now full disclosure principles clearly say that everything that is happening, be very clear and transparent towards it. That's full disclosure. So while the materiality says no, what is important, kindly state that. So the full disclosure principle can be stated as that. Right? So in this case, the correct answer will be full disclosure principle, because this principle say that everything has to be stated, while the materiality principle says the most important and the most relevant information shall be stated. Which of the following terms most people suitable for writing of the goodwill? For writing of the goodwill, which particular term is used? Is it the depletion, amortization, depreciation, or appreciation? Depreciation is for the tangible assets. Depletion is for the natural resources. If they're used, for example, if the quarries or mines, there the resources are being taken out, so that is depletion. And appreciation is when the value is increased. So when we have any of the intangibles and their values being written off, that is called amortization. That is B. Eighth question. Exception to consistency principle is, the exception to consistency principle is materiality principle, going concern, matching, or prudence. Consistency is basically, that means that every single time you're following one particular way of working. Now that particular scenario, which is basically an exception to this, is prudence. Prudence is conservatism. It doesn't really follow the regular thing. It's just going to follow the gut feeling that maybe someday we can see some losses coming up. That means we use the anticipate the losses, but not profits. So this is where the prudence is a little different from consistency. Consistency means it remains, the whatever you are using, you will continue using that particular sign. That is prudence there. That is the process of consistency. Achha, let's come back to this question number 9. Which of the following is not a feature of trial balance? Again, I stated that trial balance is basically a particular area which relates to, it's a statement, it's not an account, and somehow in certain books, it doesn't even get that particular respect even in terms of the preparation of accountancy. They say the trial balance is basically just prepared to give you the base for preparation of the financial statements. Now, it is the list of the debit and the credit items which are extracted from the various ledger accounts. It does not prove arithmetical accuracy, which can be determined by the audit. It is not an account, it's a statement of account, and all the transactions are primarily recorded in this book. Hence, it is a primary book of entry. Everything here seems to be sorted. Basically, it's a list. It's not an account, and at the same time, it does not provide the proper accuracy of the entire scenario. Sometimes there are certain things only the audit can determine. So then in this case, one problem is that if the journal is not being prepared, then you prepare the subsidiary books. This is not the book of primary book of entry. It's not the primary book of entry. It's something that concludes all the, it's basically a summarized portion of all the accounts. So that is wrong. The correct answer is D. Now the last question for the day. The omission of paise and showing the round figures of the financial statements is based on conservatism convention, consistency concept, materiality, or money measurement. When you know that the paises can be omitted, rounding off the amount to the nearest rupee basically makes it easy for the person who's taking it. At the same time, someone who's making in crores, they do not need, they do not need that particular thing that no, we need to record that 1 rupee, 1.1 paisa. No, you don't need to note down the amount of the paises that is involved there, right? So in this case, the correct answer is materiality convention. We have just studied the first or second question related to the materiality principle, and that was the omission of the paise or rounded figures are written, and we do not note down the entire point in terms of that. So when we omit the paises intentionally, it is the materiality convention which opens our it just opens up our mind that you do not need to note down every minute detail. That's what this particular concept says. So this is where we end the session. So I'll be meeting you soon. So before that, I would like to say that you can look forward to our JAIIB batches that are going on, and we are just about to start another batch for English medium on 25th of July. So you can look forward to this batch as well. So kindly check out our website as well as the app for further details. You can use the code Y538 to avail discounts. So go and check out our website as well as the app for further details regarding the JIIB classes. Thank you.